Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today, I'll be coaching you on how to fill out the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency, which is Form I-944, expires on October 31st, 2021. So let's take a look over here. This part, we are not going to fill out this part because this part is to be completed by an attorney or accredited representative. Since we are not going to fill out this part, we are going to start from here. But before I'll start, I would like to remind you guys to type or print in black ink only. Or if you are going to use pen to fill out this form, make sure to use black ink pen only. And lastly, do not leave the boxes empty. If the boxes is not applicable for you, write NA. So let's start in part 1, information about you. Number 1, your current legal name. So in this part, you are going to write down your married name. So in my part, my last name is Smith, my first name is Jane, my middle name is Cruz. Number 2, U.S. mailing address. In care of name, so in this part, I write down my name so that when the USCIS send me the mail, they are going to address that mail in my name. This is my street number, my city or town, Dallas, my zip code. Number 3, alien registration number. So this is my alien registration number. Do not forget to write down your alien registration number. Number 4, USCIS online account number. So in my part, I don't have an USCIS online account number. So I write NA, but if you have an USCIS online account number, you have to write down that account number in this space provided. Number 5, date of birth. I was born on July 1st, 1987. Place of birth, I was born in Manila. Country of citizenship or nationality, Philippines. Country of birth, Philippines. So let's move forward in part 2. Family status, your household. In this part, you will be providing information about the individuals in your household. If you need additional space to complete any item number in this part, use the space provided in part 9, additional information. Please see the instruction for who is included in your household. If not already provided with your Form I-485, provide evidence of your relationship to each individual, such as birth certificate or marriage certificate. If you do not have evidence of relationship to one or more member of the household, please submit a signed statement from such household members or his or legal guardian if applicable. So in this part, who is included in your household? The person that is included in your household are the following. First, you as an applicant. Second, your children under 21 years of age physically residing with you. Your children under 21 years of age not physically residing with you, whom you provide 50% financial support or child support. Your parents who provide 50% financial support, or any individuals who provide 50% financial support. Number 1, below, list yourself and all individuals who are part of your household. So in my case, I only have three members in our household, which is me, my husband, and my daughter. So my last name is Smith, my first name is Jane, my middle name is Chris. Date of birth, I was born on July 1st, 1987. Relationship to you, self. Alien registration number. This is my alien registration number. Do not forget to write down your alien registration number in this space provided. Does this individual living with you or live with you? I think yes. Is this individual filing an application for an immigration benefit with you, or has this individual already filed an application? So I think yes, because I am filing an application. Okay? My second member of the household is my husband. His last name is Smith. His first name is James. His middle name is Leonard. Date of birth, he was born on January 15, 1979. His relationship with me, he is my spouse. He does not have an alien number because he is a US citizen or he is my petitioner. Does this individual live with you? I think yes. But if your spouse is not living with you, think no. Is this individual filing an application for an immigration benefits with you, or has this individual already filed an application? I think no, because he is not filing an application with me because he is a US citizen and he is my petitioner. My third member of the household is my daughter. Her last name is Perez. Her first name is Nicole. Her middle name is Cruz. Date of birth, she was born on January 1st, 2008. Her relationship with me, she is my child. She does not have an alien number because she is my derivative applicant, or K2. Does this individual live with you? I think yes. But if your child is not living with you, but you support that child or children, child support, you have to think no, and you have to provide an evidence that that this child or children is related with you. So you have to submit a birth certificate. Okay? Is this individual filing an application for an immigration benefits with you, or has this individual already filed an application? I think yes, because my daughter is living with me and she is applying an application with me. But if your children or child is not applying with you and not living with you, you have to tick no, and you have to tick no in this part because that children or child is not applying with you, okay? But if they are applying with you and living with you, you have to tick yes, okay? So I'd write an A because there's only 3 members in our household. But if you have more than 4 members in your household, you have to write down that information in Part 9 Additional Information. Where is Part 9 Additional Information? It is in the bottom page of this form. Okay? Letter E, total number of household member including yourself. So as I have said, there is 3 members in our household including myself. So I write 3. So let's move forward in part 3. You're in your household members' assets, resources, and financial status. In this part, you will be providing information about your assets, resources, and financial status, as well as the assets, resources, and financial status of all other household members. If you need extra space to complete any item number in this part, use the space provided in Part 9 Additional Information. So in this part, you are going to provide the information about your household members, assets, resources, and financial status. Household income. Number 1, list your and your household members listed in Part 2. Total income from the most recent federal income tax return, if any. So in this part, you are going to write down the household members that was listed in Part 2. So in my case, in Part 2, I listed myself, my husband, and my daughter. So there are 3 household members in our family. So I write down 3. So letter A, name. My last name is Smith. My first name is Jane. My middle name is Cruz. Did you or your household members whose income is being included file a federal tax return? I think no. If you or your household member did not file, select the reason for not filing and provide an explanation. So, I think this one, plan to file the tax return before the due date for this year. But if one of these boxes is applicable for you, you have to tick one of these boxes and write the explanation. So in my case, this one is applicable for me. So I write the explanation, and this is my explanation. My husband and I are planning to file a tax return together before the due date for this year. My second household member is my husband. His last name is Smith. His first name is James. His middle name is Leonard. Did you or your household member whose income is being included file a federal tax return? I think yes. Federal tax year 2018, total income from tax return or item 1 on W2, wages, tips, other compensation. So I listed my husband yearly income. Okay? Part 3, your and your household members' assets, resources, and financial status. So this is the continuation from page 3. So this is my third household member in our family, which is my daughter. Her last name is Perez. Her first name is Nicole. Her middle name is Cruz. Did you or your household member whose income is being included file a federal tax return? I think no. In this case, I tick this box, not required to file a tax return, and I provide an explanation. This is the explanation: underage child, because my daughter is just 11 years old. So I write this explanation: underage child. Does any of the income from your or your household member federal tax return come from an illegal activity or source, such as proceeds from illegal gambling or illegal drug sales? So I think no, because this is not applicable for me. If you answer yes, so you have to write down the amount of that income in this space provided. Does any of the income from your or your household member federal tax return come from the public benefits as listed in the instruction? I think no, because we are not receiving any public benefits as listed in the instruction. But if you think yes, you have to write down the amount of that public benefits you are receiving from the government. If you or your household member receive additional income on a continuing weekly, monthly, or annual basis during the most recent tax year, and the income is not listed on the tax return, provide the amount of additional income. For example, child support. Attach evidence of the additional income. In addition, if you are a child, list any additional income or support available from your parents, legal guardians, or other individual providing at least 50% of your financial support that is not listed in their tax return. So in my case, we are not receiving any additional income or child support. So I write NA from A to D. Okay? This space provided is not applicable for me, or this case is not applicable for us, because we are not receiving any other income other than the income that we listed in this part 3 from number 1 A to C. Okay? But if you are receiving an child support, and that child support is not listed in your income tax, you have to write down that information in this space provided, and you have to provide the evidence that you are receiving that child support. Okay? So let's move forward in number 9. Provide the amount of assets and resources available to you and your household members in the table below. If you are a child, provide any assets available from your parents, legal guardians, or other individual providing at least 50% of your financial support. So in this table below, you are going to list down all your assets, either inside or outside the United States. Remember, guys, list only the asset that can be converted into cash within 12 months. Provide the value of any assets held in the United States or outside the country in US dollar. If you have your own house back in your home country, or if you own a house here in the United States, you can list that as an asset. So in this table below, we have your name of asset holder, type of assets, and amount. Remember, guys, convert the value of your assets into US dollar currency. So in my name, I have my real estate holding back in my country, which is 2 million pesos. And I already paid 1.2 million pesos, which is converted into 24,000 US dollar. In my name again, I have my checking account, which has 50,000 pesos, which is converted into 1,000 US dollar. And in my husband, he has his own real estate holding that is 110,000 US dollar. In his savings account, he has 5,000 US dollar. In other are our car. So in the instruction, if you have more than one car, you have to list down the other car as your assets. So you have to total all of this amount and write down the amount in this space provided. Write down the total amount in US dollar in this space provided, okay? Liabilities and debts. Number 10, provide the list of your liabilities and or debts in the table below. So, what are the liabilities or that can be included in this part? 1. Mortgage, car loans, unpaid child support or spousal support, unpaid taxes, credit card debt, and also you have to provide documentation of every debt, okay? So in my part, I have my mortgage back in the Philippines that is converted into US dollar. If you have a car loan, credit card, educational loan, tax debt, alliance, personal loan or other, you have to write down the amount of that debts or liabilities in this space provided, and you have to calculate the liabilities. Okay? Unfortunately, my computer is not allowing me to write down the total of my liabilities, so I'm going to use a black pink pen to total the liabilities in US dollar, okay? Credit report and score. Provide the information about your credit history. So number 11, do you have a US credit report? So in my part, I don't have a US credit report, so I think no. Number 12, do you have a US credit score? In my part again, I don't have a US credit score, so I think no. But if you answered yes, you have to provide the credit score in this space provided, and you also have to provide the documentation stating that you have your own credit scores within the last 12 months, okay? Number 13, if you have negative credit history or low credit score in the United States, reflect on your credit report, provide an explanation for guidance on what constitutes negative credit history. So in my part, since I think no, I'm not going to write down the explanation here. But if you have a credit history, a low credit history, you have to write down the explanation here, and you also have to provide the documentation stating why you have your low credit history. Number 14, have you ever filed for bankruptcy either in the United States or in a foreign country? So in my part, I think no, because I did not file a bankruptcy either here in the United States or in any other country. But if you think yes, you have to provide the information of that bankruptcy in this space provided from A to C. So in my part, I think no, so I write in A. Health insurance. Number 15, do you currently have health insurance? So in my part, I think yes. If you tick yes to item 15, attach the evidence of health insurance. So since I tick yes, I'm going to attach the documentation stating that I have an insurance. If you answered no to item 15, proceed to item D. So if you tick no, you have to proceed in this part. Okay? If you answered yes to item 15, did you receive a premium tax credit or advance premium tax credit under the Affordable Care Act for the health insurance? So I think no, because we are not receiving premium tax. Okay? If you answered yes to item 15, what is your total annual deductible or annual premium? So since I answered yes, I write 1,000. That's our annual deductible for our insurance. If you answered yes to item 15, when does your health insurance terminate or date that it must be renewed? So, since I answered yes, I write down the date of our insurance termination or it must be renewed. Okay? And letter D, have you enrolled or will soon enroll in health insurance but your health coverage has not started yet? So in my part, I have my insurance and my health insurance has started already. So I'm not going to tick any of these boxes because this is not applicable for me. If you answered yes, attach a letter or other evidence from the insurance company showing that you have enrolled in or have a future enrollment date for health insurance and when your coverage began. So if you think yes, you have to attach a letter from insurance company showing that you have a future enrollment date or appointment and when your coverage begins. Okay? If you receive federally funded Medicaid, please list those benefits in item 15 and 16. So in my part, I did not receive any federally funded Medicaid. So I'm not going to list those benefits because that's not applicable for me. But if you receive any federally funded Medicaid, you have to list down those information in item 15 and item number 16. If you answer no to item number 15, you may provide information on how you plan to pay for reasonably anticipated medical costs. So in my part, I tick yes in item number 15. But if you tick no in this part, you have to write your explanation in this space provided. You have to write down on how you will pay your medical costs without your insurance. Okay? Public benefits. Provide the request information and submit documentation as outlined in the instruction. And number 16, have you ever received or are currently certified to receive in the future any of the following public benefits? Select all that apply. So in my part, I did not receive or I am not certified to receive any public benefits in the future. So I tick no in this space in this boxes. But if you receive or currently certified to receive any public benefits in the future, you have to tick yes and you have to tick any of these boxes that applicable to you. Have you disenrolled and withdrawn from or requested to be disenrolled from the public benefits? So in my part, I think no because I did not enroll or disenroll or withdraw any public benefits. And the date, so I write in A in the date, okay, because this is not applicable for me. But if you disenrolled or withdrawn or requested to disenroll in public benefits, you have to tick yes and you have to write down the date when it was disenrolled, okay? Number 18, if you select one or more public benefits in item 16, provide the information about the public benefits in the space below. So if you selected one or more of these boxes, you have to write down the information of that public benefits from A to C. But in my part, I did not select any of these boxes, so I will write an A in this space provided, okay? If you answered yes to item number 16, do any of the following apply to you? So if you answered yes in number 16, if you answered this, you have to tick any of these boxes that apply to you. But in my part, I am not receiving any public benefits and I am not certified, so I'm not going to tick any of these boxes, okay? Number 20. Have you received, applied for, or have been certified to receive federally funded Medicaid in connection with any of the following? Select all that apply. So in my part, I did not receive or not certified to receive federally funded Medicaid. So I'm not going to take any of these boxes. But if you receive or certified to receive any uh, public benefits or federally funded Medicaid, you have to tick any of these boxes, okay? Provide the applicable dates. So as I said, I did not tick any of this, so I don't have the date, and I write in A in this space provided. Have you ever applied for any of the following public benefits and the application is currently pending or was denied? So I think no, because I did not apply any public benefits, or I was not denied because I did not apply and think yet no. But if you applied and was currently pending or was denied, you have to think yes. If you think yes to item 22 from here, provide the following information, select all that applies. So in my part, since I tick no, I'm not going to tick any of these boxes. But if you tick yes, you have to tick these boxes that apply to you. Okay? Date you applied for any of the above listed public benefits. So I write in A. Number 25, did you withdraw your application before being certified to receive the public benefits? So I think no, because I did not apply and I did not withdraw any application before being certified for the public benefits. So I think no. Number 26, have you applied for or received a fee waiver when applying for an immigration benefits from USCIS? I think no. If you answered yes to item number 26, provide the information below. Explain the circumstances that caused you to apply for a fee waiver and if those circumstances have changed. So in my part, I think no. So I write in A, but if you think yes, you have to provide the circumstances why you applied for fee waiver. Okay? So I write in A because these are not applicable for me. Number Part 4, your education and skills. Number 1, do you have an approved Form I-140 as an alien worker? I think no, because I don't have an alien working approval or I'm not approved for alien working. I did not apply for that before, so I think no. If you answered yes to item number 1, provide the receipt number and skip to part 5. So since I think no, I will write in A. But if you think yes, you have to write your receipt number of that approval. If you answered no, proceed to item number 2. So I'm going to proceed here since I think no. Have you graduated high school or earned high school equivalent diploma? I think yes, because I graduated high school. List your education history below. Include all degrees and attained high school diploma, college degrees or equivalent, etc. If you answered no to item number 2, then list the highest grade completed. Provide documentation as provided in the instructions. So if you answered no, you have to also list those um, higher education you have received. So in my part, I graduated. My school name is St. Thomas University. I graduated as a bachelor. My field of studies is information technology. I started 2015 and ended in 2019. So, in letter B, program or school name. I graduated my high school in St. Thomas High School. Degree or certificate, high school. Field of study, I write NA. Date started, I started on June 15, 2002, ended on March 15, 2006. Letter C, program or school name, Dallas University. I have my certificate in ESL or English as a second language. Field of study, I studied English. Date started, I started on November 15, 2019 and ended on February 15, 2020. So if you have more educational skills, you have to write down those information in this space provided or use the Part 9 additional information. So let's move forward in number 4. Do you have any occupational skills? So I think yes. If you answered yes to item number 4, provide the information below. If you answered no, skip to item number 5. So since I think yes, I'm going to provide all the information in this space provided. I have my certification in database management, which obtained in August 1st, 2016. Who issued your license or certification? So who issued my license? My certification was SAP Business 1. License number, I write in A since there was no license number in the certification. Expiration or renewal date, I write in A because there was no expiration or renewal date in my certification. But if you have your expiration or renewal date, you have to write down that information in this space provided. Letter B, certification, license type, or occupational skill. I have my certification in encrypting data with SQL technologies, which obtained on November 15, 2017. Who issued my certification? St. Thomas University. License number, if any. So again, there was no license number in my certification, so I write in A. Expiration or renewal date. Again, there was no expiration or renewal date in my certification, so I write in A. If you have more certification or license or occupational space, you have to write down that information in this space provided or you use the Part 9 additional information. Number 5, provide the following information about your skills with English and other language in item A to C below. So you have to write or provide the information about your English and other languages. So in this part, in letter A, I write English. My certification is ESL. It was taken or completed on February 15, 2020. Who issued my certificate? Dallas University issued my certificate. If you have more, you have to write down that information in this space provided. Okay, let's move forward in number 6, retirement. Are you currently retired? I think no. If you are retired, since when have you been retired? Since I think no, I write in A in this space provided. But if you think yes, you have to write down the date, okay, year and month when you have been retired. Number 7, are you the primary caregiver who is over the age of 18 for a child or an elderly, ill or disabled individual in your household? So in my part, I pick no. But if you are a primary caregiver of ill or disabled individual in your household, you have to tick yes. Part 5, declarants, statement, contact information, certification, and signature. So who is the declarant? You are the declarant. You are the one who apply for I-944. You are the declarant of this form. So note, select the box for either item A or B in item number 1. If applicable, select the box for item number 2. So, since I am the declarant, I will pick letter A. I can read and understand English, and I have read and understand in every question and instruction in this declaration and in my answer to every question. But if you have an interpreter, you have to take letter B. And you have to write down what language the interpreter uses for you. Okay? And number 2, declarant statement regarding the preparer. So if you have the preparer, you have to take this box, okay? If you have the interpreter, take letter B. And number 2, if you have a preparer, you have to take this box, okay? But in my part, I don't have a preparer and I don't have an interpreter, so I'll take letter A in number 1. Declarant contact information. I don't have my daytime telephone number and I have my mobile number. So this is my mobile number. This is my email number, my email, okay? Guys, please read this part carefully, okay? This part you are stating that you are giving the USCIS an authorization to pull out your information in every agency and the government. So you have to read this part carefully, okay? This is your declarant certification. Read this part carefully. So in this part, you are certifying and declaring that all the information you have written in this form are true and correct. Number 6, declarant signature. In this space provided, you have to write down your signature and the date when you sign this form. Part 6, interpreter contact information, certification, and signature. I don't have an interpreter, so I write an A. But if you have an interpreter, you have to write down your interpreter information in this space provided. Interpreter certification. In this part, you are going to write down the language which your interpreter uses to interpret with you. In your interpreter signature and the date when the interpreter write or sign this form. So in my part, I don't have an interpreter, so I write an A. Part 7, contact information, declaration, and signature of the individual preparing this declaration if other than the declarant. So I don't have a preparer because I am the one who prepared this form. So I write an A. But if someone prepared this form for you, you have to write down the information of that person who prepared your form. Preparer statement. Number 7. So if your preparer is not an attorney or not accredited representative, your preparer must take letter A. But if your preparer is an attorney or accredited representative, your preparer must take letter B. And your preparer must take one of these boxes. Your preparer signature and the date when your preparer signed this form. Part 8, signature at interview. So this part, we are not going to fill up this part because this part is for USCIS and you will fill up this part during the interview. So do not fill up this part so far, okay? Part 9, additional information. So in this part, this is where you are going to write down your additional information. That will be all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Good luck and God bless with your application.